Internet news with no filter. Welcome to News Sesh. Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're diving into a really important topic. Content warning. This video discusses the death of a child and a public figure's response to that tragedy. Viewer discretion is advised. In 2025, a tragedy involving the death of a young child belonging to a family influencer received widespread attention. Public records, news reports, and court documents confirmed the incident, and the subsequent police investigation was widely reported. Today, we're focusing specifically on one aspect of the story: the influencer's return to social media after the event and the reactions and ethical discussions that followed. To set the stage, here's what is verified from public records and media reporting. In May 2025, the influencer's young child tragically passed away. This was widely reported by major media outlets, including NBC News and KOLD 13. Shortly after, local authorities conducted an investigation into the incident. The Chandler Police Department publicly confirmed that a report was filed and that investigators submitted a recommendation to the Maricopa County Attorney's Office for review. In July 2025, news outlets reported that prosecutors decided not to pursue charges due to insufficient evidence for conviction. This decision was publicly documented. These are the confirmed events surrounding the tragedy. It is important to note that at no point are we speculating about private circumstances, motives, or emotions, only reporting what has been verified. May 2025, tragedy occurs. July 2025, prosecutors declined to file charges. One of the aspects that attracted public attention was the influencer's return to posting on social media after the tragedy.
I don't even know if I'm going to end up posting this video, and I'm going to try to keep it short and sweet. But I am very much grieving, and I'm very much going through a lot right now. Just want to say, you are seeing such a small sliver of my life right now. I'm not sharing my kids anymore. Therefore, I'm not sharing Teddy, and I'm not sharing Trig. I'm doing my best, and I'm showing a very small portion because I'm not ready to share other things. I'm not ready to talk about other things, and that is okay. Those are the things that I am unpacking in my therapy sessions and with professionals and with my family. Those are not things that I think I should be coming on the internet and unpacking with millions of people. And I know that there are so many things that I could be talking about right now. Trust me, it is on my mind with what happened to Trig, but I'm not ready. And while I feel ready to return to work and some sense of normalcy, I am not ready to talk about anything about what happened to him. Very much processing the loss of my son. But I still think it's important to share this because I'm just not ready. And I kind of tried to set that boundary when I first came back. Everyone is entitled to say what they want about my grief journey, my behavior, but I also want to give you the perspective that no matter what, you are not seeing the full scope of things. I'm sharing the moments that I can bear to film and that I want to film because it kind of helps me step out of my reality for a second and do my job, which I very much enjoy. I genuinely enjoy content creation. That's why I do it. And I sometimes forget that because of social media, we've warped this perspective of people's lives that we genuinely feel like we know them and we know what their whole life looks like, when in reality, we're seeing maybe 5% of someone's life, and it's what they choose to share. So right now, I'm choosing to share the days that I'm getting through. I truly just want to give the perspective that unless you have lost someone and gone through grief, you will not understand what you would do or how you would act because you just have never had to be in that position, and I hope you never have to be. I mean, everybody loses someone or something at some point in their lives, but losing a child is literally the worst pain, and I would not want anybody to go through it. For people to say, if this were me, I would just be crippled and I would be thinking about them all day and I wouldn't be able to continue on. Do you not think that everywhere I look in my house, I don't see my child? His photos are everywhere. His artwork is everywhere. I love that because he's my child and I never want to forget him. But I'm not showing that on camera. I'm not showing you all those things. I'm literally just trying to do anything to bring a little bit of joy to my life right now. So I don't know. I know I don't need to get on here and necessarily like defend myself, but literally could not be further from the truth of my life.
Verified sources indicate the influencer resumed posting on platforms such as TikTok and Instagram within a few months of the child's death. The posts included reflections on personal grief, updates for her audience, and discussions of coping with loss. These posts were publicly available and received widespread attention from followers and the media. It is important to emphasize that these posts were public statements from the influencer herself, and their existence is confirmed by screenshots and timestamps available in public domains. Many viewers noted the timing of these posts, sparking debate about the expectations placed on public figures and influencers during periods of personal grief. Once the influencers' posts were live, reactions were mixed. Publicly available comments and forum discussions demonstrate the split. Many followers offered words of sympathy and encouragement. Comments emphasized understanding, empathy, and support for coping with grief. Public discussion frequently framed the return to posting as a therapeutic process. Some viewers expressed concern over the timing of the posts, suggesting that resuming content creation too soon could be insensitive to the tragedy. Discussions on Reddit and Twitter threads reflected debates about audience expectations and appropriate public grieving. It is critical to note that these are publicly observed patterns of engagement and reaction. We are not attributing intention or mental state to the influencer, only documenting observable responses in the public sphere. This case raises broader ethical considerations that have been explored in journalism and social media studies. Timing of social media posts versus grieving. Public perception often varies based on how soon a public figure resumes posting. While some see it as healing, others perceive it as performative. Pressure to maintain an online presence. Influencers are subject to audience engagement expectations. Research has shown that creators can feel compelled to remain visible, even during periods of personal trauma. Parasocial relationships. Followers often develop one-sided relationships with influencers, creating heightened expectations regarding their emotional transparency. Audience consumption of tragedy. Public scrutiny is intensified in cases that involve widely reported personal loss, especially when content is shared shortly after a tragedy. Verified public statements, court filings, and press releases provide insight into the context of these discussions. They indicate that content posted in this period is considered part of the public domain and thus subject to commentary and analysis. Let's review the media coverage that confirms these facts. KOLD 13 reported on the police investigation, including the filing of the official report and the recommendation for review by prosecutors. NBC News confirmed that the prosecutor's office declined to pursue charges, citing insufficient evidence. Court filings regarding the redaction of certain sensitive details from the police report are publicly documented and have been reported by multiple verified outlets, including AZ Central. All reporting consistently confirms the dates of the tragedy, investigation milestones, and the influencer's return to posting, without including private or unverified information. By sticking to these verified sources, we can provide an accurate overview without speculation or misrepresentation. Beyond the individual case, this situation illustrates broader trends in social media and influencer culture. Influencer grief and public scrutiny. Public figures sharing personal loss face a paradox. The same visibility that provides support also opens them to criticism. Content monetization versus healing. While we cannot know private intent, the public observes content and may conflate posting with financial or brand motivation. Digital empathy and responsibility. Audiences can practice empathy by understanding that timing and coping strategies vary for each individual. Academic and journalistic studies indicate that public perception of grief is influenced by platform norms, audience behavior, and cultural expectations around mourning. Cases like this demonstrate the intersection of private tragedy and public life in the digital age. To summarize, the child's death, police investigation, and legal proceedings are all documented through verified public sources. The influencer returned to social media within a few months, posting publicly available updates about personal grief. Audience reactions were mixed, as confirmed by publicly accessible comments and forums. Ethical considerations surrounding timing, parasocial relationships, and influencer obligations are complex and context-dependent. The key takeaway is that public figures' grieving processes unfold under intense scrutiny. Observers should balance curiosity with compassion and recognize that timing alone does not determine authenticity or intent. Returning to social media after a tragedy is deeply personal. Verified reporting allows us to understand the events and public response without making assumptions about intent or private behavior. By focusing on facts, context, and cultural impact, audiences can engage responsibly and content creators can share their experiences safely within the public sphere. Thank you for watching and for engaging thoughtfully with sensitive topics. Resources for grief support are listed in the description below. And that's a wrap, guys. Like if you did, subscribe for more fun. See ya!